you all for hanging out and just waiting while we go through this technical difficulty. We had settings incorrect on YouTube. We are learning, okay? I this is my second live stream with this software, and for some reason, when I schedule, it auto schedules to no chat. So, anyways, we have learned that should not happen again. Thank you all for your patience, and we will be getting straight into this live call today. So, welcome in, everyone. I'm going to check out our chat. It's so cool that we have the chat running, and I saw you guys have been already active within it. I was checking the chat before I even went live. If you see, we have our new moderator, which is not they were moderating our last time, but Steve the mod. This is Team Heather Studio. If you all know, I should change my. Let me change my view so you guys can see. Oh wait, oop. Let me. I tell you what. Today is our technical difficulty day. Thank you for everyone patient with us. So Steve, this is Steve. Welcome to our channel's, I would say, lore. And behind the scenes, if you've been a part of this channel for a while, if you're an OG subscriber, you would know that I adopted him as my first plant about 3 years ago. So when I started this YouTube channel, Steve started with me. And he started way shorter in some of my first videos. And now he has grown. I know we have had concerns about his well-being because two of his leaves have died. There's one leaf that's kind of, anyways, not that important, but Steve is okay. I have been taking care of him. He has traveled over 700 miles. For those who don't know, we used to live in Chicago, then we moved to the Carolinas. So through our moving to different states, the moving companies and just like getting jostled, we have fixed him. He has his like iron. We have an iron like holder for just to like keep him good. I also have been reading your comments about best caretaking skills for him, and thank you so much for everyone who has been worried about him. I really thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I've taken your suggestions. I have him in a good lit area. Right now, he's like behind me. I feel like just for right now, usually he's near my window. So he's like near that window where he gets light. I also have a new plant I'm introducing in my future videos. That is what I will say right now. But anywho's, let's get straight into this. And I see Deanna said Steve is a survivor. Yes. I love all the plants in the chat. Uh, and thank you, Tiffany, for we're glad you're doing well. Yes, yes, thank you. The last time I was on here, I was talking about that I had an upcoming surgery. I truly think it's all of your well wishes that I am back. I have energy. I'm feeling great. Um, let's see in the chat. Welcome in Nicole from San Antonio, Texas. The chat is blowing up, by the way. I'm trying to like my screen, at least on my server side, so I'm not like on the YouTube side, so I don't see as it's like slightly delayed. So, but you guys are really, really going in the chat. I love this energy. Welcome in Ellen. Welcome in Kimberly, Sally. Um, I see Berna maybe. I feel like some usernames I know like it might be maybe not your actual name, so I do apologize in advance if I am shouting you out. Welcome in Chantel, Mr. Mav 23 we have Denise. So welcome in everyone. Welcome in Tony. I see you. You were part of our Print on Demand Academy call a little bit earlier today that we ran. So welcome in. So I am going to get into today here. I have a little presentation to start with. This is just so I don't over I don't forget things and announcements I want to make in our call today. So, first and foremost, on my agenda, I have, you should see it on here. You know what? I think since I reset this, here, let me let me see how I can turn on the fundraiser because the fundraiser should be there, but it might not because we switched. So let me do. I am going to try and add this video. So I'm adding the video now. So if anyone refreshes the screen, it should show. Um, yes, yes. So if you refresh the screen, it's going to show that fundraiser. So fundraiser supporting Feeding America. I'm going to go over that in a few moments here and what that impact is when you donate. We have some upcoming events and challenges. So I'm excited to announce the challenge coming back. If you know, you know. In the past few years, I've been running this, I've done vlogs about this. We are back. And then we're going to do a live listing build along. So this is about a trending product, like huge trending product. Like I'm just so excited. We'll get into it, okay? So for the foundation and the fundraiser, in the light of just the winter storms that we're seeing across everywhere and the recent winter storm Fern, Feeding America does provide meals to families, and not just for disaster relief, but just helping families and humans and people to fight hunger and hunger insecurity. And it is a wonderful charity. I I was looking in the just behind the scenes of Feeding America, and you can check them out before you donate. Of course, I believe there's like a charity ranker. I want to say, let me look it up. I'm curious because I looked it up before I did this. I think it's Charity Navigator, maybe, or Guide Star and Charity Navigator. I think it was highly rated as far as most, like a good like over 90% of donations actually go to the cause, which I know for me, when I donate, I want to make sure that it's going to the cause and not just to, the higher ups. And I know there's people who need to run a nonprofit, but I like to give back to um, different charities that I know those funds are going to the right place. So every $1 that is donated provides at least 10 meals to families in need. So that's one statistic I really love about this foundation and fundraiser. And if you are able to donate, I understand some people can't, or even just showing up with us and raising awareness. That's what's important on these calls. And for every YouTube live, I will be rotating the charities we're going to be supporting if you would like to support and donate and give back. Something I don't talk about as often as I should is just the act of giving back. And something I've done since the time I began with my own businesses, whether that be doing GoFundMes for friends and families that I know of who need to support maybe a medical procedure or anything that they currently have that has caused financial issues for them. I've supported plenty of charities through my time. And again, it's not something I talk about as much, but I think that inspiration can go a long way as far as talking about these charities and where you can donate and give back, even in small amounts, right? So, thank you for those of you who decide to donate today. And just so you know, donations are optional. They do not like any event, any ticketed program or course. I have to mention this in these live calls as well, is that that does not go, like, there's no direct correlation between anything when I talk about my events and whatnot, but just know that your donations are optional, and this is to raise awareness in these live calls. So, going to our events and what we have upcoming. I'm just so excited because I cannot tell you how many times I have ran events, and this event I have brought back time and time again. At one point, I considered retiring it, but then I was like, no, we can't, because you all ask me every year for this event to come back. So the event is the 21-day listing challenge. This is one of the hardest print on demand challenges, but let me tell you, it is one of the most transformational challenges I have ever hosted. It is difficult. I will say that this challenge has gotten some flack. It's gotten some, I would say, criticism, because I think that 21-day listing challenge, the goal is to list 5 listings a day for 21 days consecutively. Now, when people hear that, I think the idea and notion is, oh, that means quantity over quality, which is not at all what I want to perpetuate when I am running this challenge. And that's something I say time and time again during the challenge. The goal of the challenge is to get foundational workflows so that you can list consistently without that overwhelm. And that's something I go over in the first call that we are actually starting next Tuesday. So if you want to join, this is a call this is a challenge that I go live every single Tuesday in February. So February 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th. All these calls are recorded. So I understand everyone is, on different time zones, you're on different work schedules. All these calls might not work out. Now, you can still do everything completely recorded. We have a live community where I and my team answer questions. So if you can't make those live calls, we have a private community by entering into our challenge. It's a pop-up community. It does expire typically at the end of the month. So usually like February 28th, it will expire. So these pop-up communities are such high energy. So if you're looking for motivation after what we like to say, or what I like to say, is the January slump, it's like sloth season right now, right? You may see a decline in sales if you sold in the past quarter, in the past few months. So this challenge is a really influential one and motivational one, I found, for a lot of sellers, because it kind of reinvigorates people to list when they feel like things are declining. And every January and February, I get questions all the time like, hey, Heather, I'm not getting sales. What's happening? And I try to remind as many people as possible that usually the first quarter of the year is kind of the tough quarter, because it's like the winter season and people aren't really shopping as much, given there's certain niches that people would be shopping for, but typically this is the slow season. However, if anyone's been following my content for some time now, you will know that slow season is when we build. Big businesses and scalable businesses start during these slow seasons. So any slow season on Etsy, I'll be listing. Any seller who's in my courses and programs and events like this, we're listing. We're not taking that time, and we're not slowing down just because our customer base is slowing down. This is time to build, because when quarter 2 comes, it's going to be a profitable season again, and things are going to pick up. If anyone's heard, Mother's Day, second Christmas. That is a real thing on Etsy. That's coming. So if you want to build your shops, I know it is a hard challenge. And guess what? We've had people who just join the challenge literally for the motivation and accountability. They don't do the challenge, but they are listing. Okay. So you don't actually have to do 5 listings a day. I am going to give you that accountability to do so, but some people are just going to be in it for motivation, and that's okay as well. So, what's inside? You do get group live Q&A calls every Tuesday, again, February 3rd, 10th, 17th, 24th. I also have a digital and printable habit tracker. And I think we also have, yes, we have the 21-day listing tracker. So you can track, print it out, or if you have a note taking device, such as maybe a tablet, have it on your tablet and, like, check it off on your tablet, maybe save it as your screensaver to remind you to do the challenge. So, with that, we typically during these events, any courses, resources that I offer, I usually run specials and package deals and bundles during this type of 21-day listing challenge. So, I am going to get into that in a moment. I did want to show some testimonials too, just to kind of enlighten people on how real the results are. I've ran this challenge so many times. I run it every year. And let me tell you, sellers who start this, and given, I have to say, before I say this, results are not guaranteed. This is not the average result, right? But every year I run this, and every round I run this, I have a new seller who gets their first sale. I have a seller who may have been selling on Etsy and they've had a really slow year who ends up starting to get sales again. They start to build momentum, and I've had sellers who get multiple order days from this challenge. We've had people who hit new milestones. They hit 4 figures, 5 figures, maybe in their total all-time stats. Some people hit 100 order months we've had in certain rounds of this. So, also to note, I would not expect immediate results too. I want to note that and be transparent. Results from this challenge, again, we're in slow season. Typically, it's going to be a few months until those listings are indexed on Etsy. But what I will say is there is long-term results we've seen from this program too, which these are 2 people who have taken the challenge multiple times because they see the power of the challenge now. And it was really cool to see because last year, one of our past challengers, Eric, he came back in the challenge for a second round, but his first round of the challenge, he literally did not list, basically. I mean, he didn't really list after the challenge, and he still ended the year with 700 sales from the listings he created at the beginning of the year from the challenge in 2024. And I know, like, when you hear 2024, it's like, okay, that was 2 years ago, Heather. But still, like, that's just to show that even if you're not looking for like a great result and you're just looking for some extra money, extra income, and kind of that semi-passive income to a sense, again, it's not fully passive. I will say, I know anytime I say passive, it's a fighting word. And then, but anyways, it's semi-passive, right? So once you build your listings, they're working for you. They're little machines in the Etsy database. So even if you do this, and I'm not recommending to just stop after this challenge, but if you did and you just let your shop soar and do its thing, this is what can happen, because it did happen to Eric. Marianne, she took this challenge twice, and from her initial one that she was in, she had a listing and a few listings that took off. She had one that sold over 40 times. So again, we've had a lot of stories like this through the challenge. Honestly, I'm bad at doing my own testimonials because I personally, like, I don't know. I'm just not, I forget, honestly. But we have had so many testimonials at this stage and point. So there is a magic to it. And that's all I will say there. Now, if you have been looking to join the Print on Demand Academy, and it is a lifetime access private community now as of this year. So what that means is literally you get lifetime access by paying once. And that is additional support for anyone who is looking to maybe have some more accountability on their side and be able to have support after the 21-day listing challenge. So this is a package I only offer during these events as well. So you'll see that at the checkout page if you are interested in joining our community. And this is a full program too. So the full program is over 100 tutorials and trainings. And I kind of go over um, I would say on YouTube, I typically focus on like one listing at a time, right? One listing building at a time. In the course, I talk about the basic foundational layers that I think a lot of Etsy sellers and print on demand sellers should know when you are selecting products, when you're doing research. I kind of talk about everything I've learned in my time and dissect that in the program. So if you are like, I need someone to hold my hand through this, given it's not a live course, but it's pre recorded, and I find that's basically the I'm going to hold your hand type of thing that some people need. Not everyone needs a course, but people who are looking for that additional support. And then any questions you have during the course as you take it, you can go to our live school community. This is separate from 21-day listing challenge, to note. And we do have bonus calls. So today we ran a bonus call. Typically, I would say every few months or so, I do bonus calls. When I do these live YouTube calls, I have a pre-game bonus call in the Print on Demand Academy where I do trends, and that is the trends that basically lead up to this listing and live listing building, right? So, what we're building today is actually one of the trends I talked about earlier today in that live call. So, again, this might be for you if you want that support and additional community, if you want accountability and just to be consistent and know the workflows and get that training and tutorials, because maybe you might be like, I am so lost. There's so many elements with print on demand and product development, and SEO creation and all of the things. This is probably going to be what you might find as helpful. Again, if you want structure, you're watching video from YouTube video to video, and you're like, I have no idea what to do. I have shiny object syndrome. Sometimes this helps those types of sellers. So, again, this is kind of the Print on Demand Academy course, 110 plus trainings. It's accessible on mobile devices, on desktop, laptop, all devices, Android, Apple. So just know that is there as well. Some results we've seen in the past, we've had sellers hit multiple 5 and 6 figures in their own businesses. These are 2 shops that one seller opened, and the results that they got from that. We have had also sellers who have hit 6 figures. We've had sellers who've hit their first 200 orders and 100 sale marks. So again, when I'm talking about testimonials, it is not the average by any means, but it is something that we have had sellers in our program achieve by following the systems that I teach. So just know that that can change due to market experience and what have you, or results and testimonials vary due to everything. So just to note that in the same breath. As far as a bonus, again, kind of what I talked about earlier, Q1, I did a February and March trend report and profitable niches for the next few months. So if you're looking for some trend insights, you're looking for strategy, you're looking to learn a little bit more of some design trends we're seeing, then that's going to be probably something you may want to enroll in. Again, that's lifetime. You're getting access to this bonus community and my live calls, or additional live calls, I should say. So, print on demand community preview. So this is what we did before we went live on YouTube. In the private community, I went over new products, and there was a longer list than this. This is just like a little sneak peek for anyone who is maybe considering joining. But one of our products we talked about today was this mesh back cap. I am like seriously so excited about this. And I know I know I'm getting too crazy excited about this because um mesh back caps first and foremost are like very trendy. I'm seeing a huge trend for one, baseball caps and just hats in total. Two, this mesh back cap has over 10 variations and colors. It has leopard, camouflage, florals underneath. We're going to go over the product in a little bit here when we live listing build, but it is a huge Printify drop that I am so excited about. Also, Steve the Mod, if you can, if anyone hasn't signed up for Printify print on demand website or software, Steve the Mod might drop it in the links. Also, to note, we are contacting and still trying to figure out what's going on with the code, the coupon code we had. I know we've had YouTube comments and people in our communities reach out about that. We are still in contact with Printify to see if that coupon is still available. I will email my list too. So if you're a part of my email list and the emails I send out, I typically send out a newsletter weekly. I would say since I've since I've been in recovery this past month, I haven't been doing that as well as I should. But I typically will write an email when I have a new YouTube video come out. And so if we get a coupon in the future, if you're a part of our newsletter, typically if you have the print on demand crash course or any of our resources, you can sign up through that too, which should be in a link in our description below. But with that, we usually will send like if we get new coupon codes from our partners that we're affiliated with. Also to note, those are affiliate links. I want to make another disclaimer while we're live. So by signing up under those affiliate links, you are supporting our YouTube channel here and just allowing me to keep this and these types of live listing builds going. So thank you for everyone who supports. We are very, very grateful for everyone who does sign up under those links. So as far as where the trend is rising, oh my gosh, I pulled this today. So I like to pull these as live or as I would say close to when I'm showing the statistics as possible. And typically in my listing building, so if you've watched any of my tutorials on YouTube, you'll see me talk about research first because that does matter. And that's a big contributor to why I'm doing a listing build, right? So today I wanted to do that, but I didn't want to pull up Everbee live because I tried to hide the shop names of sellers just to protect their IP and all that. These are estimated metrics and numbers to also note as we're live today. But guys, this is literally insane. These numbers for apparel in the last 12 months. I have only seen these types of numbers typically, I would say, for like group t-shirts or bridal niche. I have not seen this for just like hats, like a new product type that has this amount of trends. And one really neat feature about Everbee is they have like a growth rate column now. So just custom embroidered hats, like not even a specific niche. Um, this has had 8,000 sales in the past year, past 12 months. And this listing is 9 months old. These two top listings, I mean, if we include both, that's almost what, $430,000 in revenue. Um, just for, and given that that was a really bad my calculation live, but um please forgive me, any math teachers. My old math teacher, if you ever see this, I'm so sorry. um but the growth rate though, I mean, look at this, two listings that are 9 months old, guys, and embroidered hats are just popping off. What I found is when I was in the search, I did see some for the mesh hats. I think also a lot of one, Etsy wants to showcase listings that are unique and different than what is typically already on the market, right? So if everyone's doing the same thing, you may not be shown as high in search because Etsy, just as of last year, they had in their investor report that they wanted their search to be unique. So, what does that mean? Being unique in the search on Etsy is essentially not like having the same mockup image that every other seller has, right? Every other listing. We saw a big shift in search results on Etsy due to that, and due to that shift in Etsy's algorithm. They don't want the same mockup again and again and again. And I know that was a big problem in maybe like 2023 going into 2024, since so many people were just using the same mockup images. So that's kind of the pro of ordering samples now. So if you do go into this, I would recommend ordering a sample or samples of different colors to show. Um, and today I'm going to go over, there is a way to do it with AI. We'll see. We're going to do it live. I'm going to hope it comes out good. I'm going to show you the way and you can take it or leave it. I still recommend having a sample over anything though, because when it comes to these product types, AI is still not going to show a product exactly how it looks in person. And when it's unique like it is, sometimes that we can come across issues, right, with our mock-up images. So it's good to still order a sample all in all. And I will get off my pedestal on that. So, when it comes to the niche too, and I said that like these are pretty much wide as far as niches go, the top two. I would say these are trending for like all hat keyword queries and searches on Etsy. But dad hat in specific, this is the list that's showing. Now, if we look at pregnancy reveal, now this is a big one. This is a very big niche in specific for hats, right? So when we're thinking about hats, personalized text hat, again, we're seeing kind of the same results from the dad hat area, right? Slightly different though, but nonetheless, we're seeing some of the matching ones. So these thumbnails, again, we don't have them blown up to protect intellectual property of the sellers, but it's mom and dad hats, basically matching hats for pregnancy reveal. So one thing I really like about doing and selling hats, and this is a huge pro, right, is the fact that you can sell a hat and you don't like the gift giver of the hat. So let's say grandma, or I just said grandma. I mean, that could be too. Grandpa for hats, right? So if you're doing a pregnancy reveal and you're gift giving and you don't want them to know that you're trying to reveal the pregnancy, right? This is like hush hush. You don't want to ask for the size of their shirt, right? They're going to be on to you. So for hats, it's like so much easier because you don't have to worry about, asking for their shirt size. I mean, if it's around Christmas time, you kind of have like a better excuse, but if it's not around Christmas time, then this is perfect, right? So, custom hats are a great gift to give for that pregnancy reveal niche. Anyone who's kind of new to Etsy and niches, what niches are those special, I would say, hobbies, interests, things, or categories that shoppers are looking to buy, right? And when we're talking about niches, there's evergreen and seasonal niches. That's kind of how I categorize them. And, there could be new categories one day, but right now we have the categories of evergreen and seasonal listings, right? So evergreen listings are like an evergreen tree. Those sell all year round. Seasonal listings, however, are the listings that are going to sell for probably a few months here and there. They're going to have those seasonal spikes in sales, but they're not going to sell all year round. Pregnancy reveal niche is one of those niches that go into the evergreen category because people are always having babies, right? We're always having babies. We're always having expected pregnancies, right? Pregnancy reveals. So that is something that is unique to this. So um, as far as the hats, now that I've kind of went into the research behind this and why we're going to choose this today, um, for the live building session, we're gonna go right into it. I'm gonna take a quick coffee break and just look at our chat in between here. Um, I see a lot of people are saying Printify says Heather X Studio doesn't exist at the moment. Yeah, the Printify coupon is still we're having some issues. I think Printify is aware of it, and I think I I'm not really sure if they used to give it to all like YouTubers that showed them on our videos, but I'm not sure if that's changing. So we haven't heard, and we've emailed um, a few times now. So we'll let you know. And again, if you're signed up to the newsletter or on YouTube, I'll mention it in future videos too, if that arises. Um, so Cynthia asked if we are a part of the academy. Let's see. Actually, let me see if I could actually pull it up. I'm trying to get better with this software where I pull up questions live here. Um, do, 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 do. Okay. So Cynthia asked if we are part of the academy, is the challenge and other reports included, or is that a separate purchase? It is all included. So that will be included. It is not separate. It's just a bonus that I do from time to time in the academy and in our live community. So, but the tracker and habit tracker, that's a package bundle you'll see at checkout with the 21-day listing challenge. So you can get both and you can add it on. It will be an add-on of, I think it's like 176 plus the 21. So the price, the lowest price I've ever dropped it is 197. So basically you're just getting that package and it's kind of like thrown in a way. I don't know. That was the only way I could like create that package on the checkout page. So anywho's, I digress, not important. So I I see a lot of people saying let's build, so we will get into it. Yeah, I see. I think someone mentioned about the pregnancy reveal niche and how maybe doing a ultrasound would be or ultrasound picture would be the better reveal. I can agree in a way, but I feel like having like this was so when my sister-in-law and brother-in-law when they had their baby, I think like the new title of being a grandma and grandpa is like so rewarding for people, or being an aunt even. Like when I was an aunt, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm an aunt now." So I think like that label is so fun, and it's like a little gift you're giving people, and you can give a like an ultrasound too, right? But like giving that new title to someone, it's just like so cute, you know, it's like a cute present. Given ultrasound picture could be great too, but like I find that that's what a lot of people love giving when they're pregnant, right? You just want to announce to the world about it, right? So, anywho's, I digress, but just a thought there. I see a lot of locks also. Thank you for those who came from email to in the chat. For those who don't know, it's kind of like the secret the secret when I go live on YouTube, I have an emoji that, and I really mispronounced that. I'm not going to say it again. That word of the symbol because I always mispronounce it. And I'm so sorry if I offended anyone by my pronunciation of that. Oh man, but anywho's, the lock means that you are in the 21-day listing challenge. So if you sign up for the 21-day listing challenge, put a lock in the chat. I want to see all of you who are joining us, but it's great to see Christine's in it. Let's see who else. Jenny, we have Jenny in it. So welcome to the challenge for those who are locked in, and also locked in for the year. That's kind of that's the mantra for this year is we're all locking in. I said it at the beginning of the year, we're going to keep it going. We're locking in, right? So let's get into it. I am going to have to switch over my tabs. So this is the cap I was talking about. And if you're ever looking on Printify, so let's start at the catalog home and talk about Printify for a second. Printify I've used since the beginning of my Etsy and print on demand business. I know like I'm a partner with them now. I'm not going to say that I'm not, or not say that I don't have affiliate links with them, and all of that. I do work with them now, but I did work with them before I was ever on YouTube. And they were my favorite company by far because they had the lowest print on demand production prices. And I literally earned thousands more by just switching over to them. With that, it's been really magical kind of growing with them because in my time with working with them, for those who don't know, I I'm not exactly sure if they still do this, but I know when I was beginning and I started seeing like high volumes of sales, they assigned me a print on demand kind of like experience manager. And I got to meet with them. Basically, it was like every month or every quarter I met, and I felt really taken care of by them. And just like I learned a lot about just the customer service that Printify does and all of that. And I know holiday season, coming from the holiday season, I've seen like, the comments about, okay, the long wait times and everything. And I totally understand, like, it seems like it has increased in volume, but typically during like regular season, it's not that crazy. And I know if anyone has had or experienced their first season with any print on demand company, it's kind of like that. It does stink. It's kind of a shared, not fun time. But Printify has always just been my number one. They've been my go-to. That's what I'm going to say here. And they are always expanding their catalog. What I've really loved about Printify is that they take sellers' suggestions. So if you ever have a product you're waiting on and kind of waiting for, or you really want, and you're looking at other print providers or companies and you're like, oh man, I want to maybe like do this, but like they're not integrated to Etsy. They're not like, I don't know this company. Because what I found is, yes, other companies do provide other services and comparable services, right? However, what I found is some of them have issues as far as inventory management, given Printify does too. They all do. But I have had times and I've heard situations where I've had sellers tell me like this company like just completely shut down, or this company like literally like you don't know with smaller companies. Some companies have had defects or issues. It's kind of like one of those things where you have to be careful who you partner with. And that's why I've just always recommended them, because this is the company I know, this the one I use. And Printful is connected to them on the back end. Printful has really great customization features for embroidery. I will say their production fees are a little bit higher, but it seems since they've kind of like merged on the back end, they have been lowering. So that's kind of good. But just to talk about like print on demand companies for a moment and just their expansion of catalog, I've seen a gigantic expansion of catalog since I've started. And that's one of the reasons why, like, I thank you, Printify, for just like adding and listening to some of our suggestions as print on demand sellers. I really, and for those who are a part of our um, area, so there is, you can, let me actually pull it up. Printify request. I'm going to bring it up in. So I'm going to switch tabs here. So hopefully you could see the tab now where we have Printify support. So this is something that anyone can do at any time. So you can go to products in design and product requests. So you can submit product requests to let Printify know too. So this is where what I'm talking about is they do take print on demand sellers requests. And we've seen that over the years. So if I go back to the tab, we've seen expansion in their catalog. And something I've been asking for has been embroidery. And it's been really cool just watching them grow from that. So, anyways, I digress. We're going to go into just showing one of their new features too. So, one thing to note is when you're in the catalog, what I really like to show is this bestseller area, which I'm in now. So what the bestseller area is this is the bestsellers of Printify, and it's not Etsy specific. So when we're looking at this is actually through Shopify, people's own websites, different platforms that you can connect, even API integration with Printify, right? So this is showing all of the current top products that other e-commerce business owners are currently selling in high amounts of. So just know if you're ever like, I have no idea what to create for, this is a great resource. One thing for my advanced sellers that I like to show, and this is where I pulled this mesh hat from, which is this early access tab. Early access is so fun for me to look at. Every time I look at it, I just get so excited because I have so many ideas. And if anyone knows me through the years, I like this is, I guess, my specialty, if you will, in teaching on YouTube. And what I do is I like to go over new product types that people have not ventured to before. So that's why I really like to do these listing builds. And while I have never done it live like I am today, in the past, it's always been my mission to open up everyone's, I guess, skill sets and variety to different product types. And a question I get a lot is, okay, Heather, but can you have multiple products in one shop? Will that hurt the shop's visibility on Etsy? And the answer is no. I have tested this. I've trialed this on my own business. Even last year, I did a case study where I listed, I think it was like 100 phone cases within 30 days. Yes, that was the case study I did. Feel free to watch that after this, or pause me, watch that, what have you. But that was a really good case study to show I was selling apparel, and then I started selling phone cases, and my apparel still sold, my phone cases still sold. So that's just a live and real case study that shows you can have multiple product types. I will say there are cases where if you have a niche specific and product specific shop, sometimes that does help in your favor. If you have a bunch of shop favorites and let's say a bunch of past buyers who bought in one niche, let's say the motherhood niche, then when you upload new listings, anyone who's favored in your shop in the past or you run a sale, it's going to notify people of, hey, the shop has new listings. And sometimes I will say that does help if it's niche specific to that customer. However, Etsy's algorithm has changed too, where they still show like it's based on your previous history on what you search and what you click into on Etsy. So if you're a customer on Etsy and you follow maybe a shop or you've purchased from a shop in the past, it's still going to show you in search results that shop because it's familiar, it's relevant to the niche you purchased from in the past. And even if that customer maybe switches product types that they're looking for now, maybe from apparel, they're buying phone cases now. Again, crazy thing, but that does happen. So generalized shops, as far as I know right now, they still work out quite well. I currently talk to top 1% active Etsy sellers, and I have worked with active 1% Etsy sellers who have multiple products in their business right now, and they are doing very well, and they're actively selling multiple products. So there are, again, product niche specific shops, but I hope that kind of helps for anyone who has that question today as well, in about maybe adding hats, right, or caps to their shops. So with our listing build, for the listing build today, so again, this is something I found through this. So if you click into embroidery, Printify is currently adding more and more, and so is Printful. They both go hand in hand. They basically have like very similar print on demand providers and companies on the back end. And if you go to the embroidery category for early access, we'll see the women's washed mesh back cap. Now, one trend I've seen for caps, so first and foremost, kind of that washed out look is very trendy. I've also found for, I would say, male customers who are looking for like a cool cap to wear, like mesh back is a little bit more trendy now. And I think it's also just like unique, like it's really fun. And what's really cool about this is, guys, underneath of it, the cap has leopard print, and there's different prints. It's not just leopard. So you can do direct to garment printing or direct to this actually, I don't think this is DTF. So DTF is a different print than, I think that's totally different than, I feel like I know what it is, but my brain is having a moment. So it is, let's see. So this is the applying adhesive instead of, so it's direct to film printing. And I do apologize. I said direct to garment. So this is actually direct to film printing. And that is where a design is transferred via adhesive. So we're educating ourselves to get today together on this. So that's really cool that they're doing that for these hats, by the way, because I feel like the prints come out so much nicer and like bolder in that way. So that's really neat. I really want to, I might order samples. I'll probably end up ordering samples of these hats because that would be really cool. So with this hat, what I wanted to focus on today is embroidery. I do like the idea of DTF now. That's really cool. But I will say embroidery is what I rather go into. So to talk about the pricing, I want to put this into perspective. Again, Printify Premium. I know for some it might not make sense right now to subscribe to. What I've always said is once you hit, so basically like Printify Premium. So for this, as example, this knocks off about six-ish dollars, $6 to $7 if you have Printify Premium. So if Printify Premium, I think their prices did go up recently. So let me make sure I have the price correct before I go too far. It's looking like on their website right now, it says $29 a month. I thought I saw a email that it might go up. I might have that wrong then. I don't know. Well, maybe that this is a good time to grandfather in a price, I guess. I don't know if that will go up for people or if maybe there's no grandfathering. I have no idea. I am so sorry. I'm going to retract my statement there. But it looks like currently it's 29 a month. I thought I saw somewhere it's supposed to go up to 39.99 a month. Um, oh, Tiffany said it's going up to 39. So my apologies. I don't think there's any form of grandfathering. Again, retracting that statement. But it is going up to $39. So if we think about that, so if you do start selling this hat, it wouldn't make sense to start selling it until you kind of like it doesn't make sense to subscribe to Printify Premium, I would say, until you hit maybe like over 5 orders a day or 5 orders a month, not a day, sorry. So over 5 orders a day, that's going to be 5 times the $6. That's about 30. So once you get to 6 orders, 7 orders ish. So I guess 6 to 7 orders of this hat. Again, past math teachers, please forgive me for my math during this live call. But I feel like this is going to be our inside joke after this live call is my past math teacher is going to watch this. I don't think that's possible, but if it did happen, that would be hilarious. So basically that's my recommendation is until it makes sense that you're saving that amount. And if you hit like over 10 orders and you're saving that amount, you're earning back more profit. That's when I recommend subscribing, just to keep it like real and honest with everyone in here. I personally did not subscribe because at first I wasn't subscribed to Printify Premium. I did like a free trial I had when I began. And then after that, I didn't subscribe until it made sense. I was getting like, at the time when I was selling, I was like peak selling my sweatshirts, it knocked off $2. So it didn't make sense until I hit like 10 plus orders a month, which happened. And then I turned that on, and then I like that compounded to the point that I was like having a few $100s extra of or few $100s of profit, more profit than I would have had if I didn't have Printify Premium. So again, subscribe when it makes sense, and when you hit that order volume. But just keep that in mind if you're going to subscribe. But you can do for free until you see that order volume come through, which is typically my recommendation to most people. So with Diamond OT, and I could be mispronouncing that again. Pronunciations are not good on this channel. I will warn everyone ahead of time if you're new here. Hi, hello, my name's Heather. I mispronounce things. So for designing this, when it comes to Diamond OT and talking about shipping and pricing, I personally am not going to recommend offering free shipping on this product. I personally would not. Typically, if it's under $5, I don't see, and this is kind of a lower price product. I like to do the hybrid shipping method. So if it's over $35, that's when I offer free shipping. And that's only domestic. So when we're kind of looking at shipping, so if I go to, I think it's orders, or I feel like, no, it's been the dashboard always changes on me, and then I'm like, oh, where did this thing go? Um, so I'm gonna pull up where that hybrid shipping is on my other tab here. So when you're on your Etsy dashboard, and I'll share this here. So when you're on your Etsy dashboard, if you go to listings and then you're going to go to shipping profiles and manage. So there is a free shipping guarantee you can turn on in your shop. This is over $35 or more. And it is US based. That is, I know, a downside for my Canadian and international sellers. But at least, like, if you do have a lot of customers based in the US, this is kind of a pro. So I like to offer this. I personally do not offer free shipping outside of this. So if it's over $35, that's kind of my rule. Over 35, I offer free shipping. Under 35, no free shipping. So I hope that helps anyone who's in between. That's kind of my way of going about that. So going back to the Printify tab, when we start designing, this is how it looks like when we are doing our embroidery, which I think I selected embroidery. Yes, yes. So when you do the embroidery, make sure you're selected here. Um, I just had like a moment of, I hope I was selected on embroidery. So you want to select embroidery, then you select designing. So the other thing we have to mention live here, which I have a Printify update video coming up. So you guys are kind of getting the early scoop on this, but Printify has new personalization too. And this is the automation. They have their Printify Hub now, or Printify Personalization Hub, which is a link you can send your customer, and they can actually personalize in like a tab that's under Printify by themselves. You don't have to do the manual editing now. And then also it automates. So if they type something in, like their name in, it'll automate that too. Now, for today's purpose though, maybe I'll show the personalizable part of this, but I did want to use Kittl to do our design today because I also am going to be doing mockups within Kittl. So I don't want it to all be on Printify just for that reason. So I can show you that mockup creation and how you can use AI given sparingly. Again, I'm still not like fully team use AI for all mockups. I still like the real thing. Any mockup photographers watching, hint, hint, if you do create your own mockups, please, if you order some samples of these and take some pictures, let me know. Email me because I would love to support you and share any of my sellers your link to your shop because this would be really cool. Since this is so early access, I don't think anyone has mockups on this. Let me actually check it out because now I'm like, wait, is that a thing? And I didn't know that. You know what? Just kidding. I actually see there is a mockup seller that has it. I don't know if this is what? That is so fast. Thank you, person who did this. It looks okay. Okay, I will share my tab here. So there is a mockup seller. Shout out to Forward Notion Designs that has the caps. Look how beautiful this is. This is stunning. I love this. Oh my gosh. I don't know if anyone heard my jaw crack. I have TMJ, so I'm so sorry if anyone heard that. But wow. Wow, wow, wow. They have the caps. Okay, well, problem solved, guys. I would like to see like the matching, like matching like his and hers, but this is really gorgeous. Also, shout out to their shop. These are gorgeous, gorgeous mock-up photos. It says, yeah, they have bundles, it looks like. It doesn't look like there's a bundle for the caps, but um and these aren't bad in pricing. Like I remember when I would spend $5 per mock-up. So this is really beautiful and gorgeous. So anyways, I'm happy we're finding this together. This is great. So I'm gonna go on a separate tab and check that out. But we're gonna go back to, so what I'm gonna start with is I'm going to start on Kittl here for our design today. So it's a really easy peasy design we're gonna do. Um, for this live. I would say, again, I feel like you may have heard it through the print on demand space and Etsy space, but simple really does sell. I think that when I was a new Etsy seller, I like overcomplicated designs. And yes, there are unique designs and things that you can do. Um, but I would say that I personally really have found that the simplest of designs have just sold for me. As much how creative I get very creative. And for those who don't know, I think being on YouTube and being in the print on demand world, I find that some people have the automatic assumption that I do not do art or I'm not artistic in any way, but I actually have a background in art. And in high school, like I was um, vice president of like my National Honors Art Society. Like I very much respect artists. I love what I do on YouTube and kind of having my unique designs that I create on my own too in my own business on Etsy. So I do want to note that, and that's just my unfiltered my unfiltered thoughts for a moment. But basically, Kittl is just like a really great software. If you haven't heard of Kittl yet, they have tons of templates too on Kittl. So if you're ever like, I don't know what to create, and you just want to start with a template, you can start here. I mean, you can look through, go into any template and edit it to make it your own. I will say you cannot sell a template as is. So if you really like this template and you're like, oh, I want to use this to build off of, you can't just like download this and resell it, right? That's against Etsy's house policies. And again, that takes out like your intellectual property and IP. So, of course, you never want to do that. Um, but like this design, you would want to change up a lot of it. And sometimes what I found is like some sellers, it just helps to like have the curvature done for you. And then you can like swap out everything that you want, right? So that's something to note as well. So I'm going to switch back to this tab. So what I'm actually going to go into is a tab I already have pulled up. So I created this tab here because we have downloads from Printify. So when you are going on Printify, so I'll show you how to get this, and then after this call, I'll share this Kittl creation too, so people can like use it if it helps. But when you're in Printify, so first of all, I'm going to select just all of our options here. You can do so by kind of bulk selecting that way. I'm going to do them all for now, or I take it back. I take it back because that's going to be overwhelmed for our customers. I'm just going to do a few. I take it back. I'm going to do a few. See, this is my problem. It's kind of funny being live because I feel like my editor, typically when I'm doing a listing building, it's like 1 to 2 hours. I film by myself. So you guys are getting like the live unfiltered version of like me going back and forth. I also have a very neurodivergent brain, and my brain is like rapid firing most of the time when I do these because I'm like, I have so many ideas and I don't know where to go. So I'm gonna do, I feel like I really like the sage color I saw. The lavender was gorgeous. I don't know about pink. I'm gonna skip pink. We're gonna do olive though and camo because that's great for like our male customers or gift recipients. I don't know about the Jade and Daisy. I'm probably going to skip that one. I'm trying to find another one that might make sense for like a dad to wear, let's say. So let me look. I'm going to look up the, oh, that is so adorable. The kind of cow one. Oh my gosh, that's really adorable. There is the polka dot. Let's see. I really like the polka dot though, because that's like a big trend we're seeing right now. And that's something I talked about earlier in our group live call, in our private community. Yeah, I'm not seeing any others I would say I would do for a male besides the camo, because I feel like the other ones, I think this one's fawn, but I still think like I would like that, but I don't know. if that would be as trendy for a guy. I don't know. That's just my take. That's my and I know some guys would love that. I'm just thinking out loud right now, which we can give our customers options, but I'm thinking military green at least. This one is like perfect. I really love this sage and really love this lavender. This is really gorgeous and I'm very happy. So I'm just going to keep it to 5 colors because that's kind of what I like to stick to. I'm going to keep the fawn because it's fun. Oh, I do want to do I think the Longhorn one is the one that has yeah, this is like the cream and this is gorgeous too. I really like that. That's like very trendy right now. So I take it back. We're going to have 6. We'll do 6 colors. Um, and let's see. So, for now, we'll have to create a design to upload here. So when it comes to our design, when you click on upload, you will get the print area size. So for this print, we have 1,417 by 744. So I say that like I'm going to remember that in 2 moments here, but I'm going to share my tab here. So this is the artboard I have. And again, at the end of this call, I'm going to share it too. So those of you watching, you can access this. Um, so if I'm going to do a artboard, so I'm going to create an artboard here and I'm just going to pull this up, but again, this is just to start. You can pull up an artboard anytime on Kittl, which is one of the really cool features of it. And you can have multiple different shaped artboards. So when we're on Kittl, I'm going to go back to that. It's 1,417 by 744. So I will do my 1,417 by 744. So now that we have that, I'm going to unclip content just for now. And this is going to be our board that we're going to work on for today for this design. So when we are designing, again, some of the trends we've been seeing and some of the trends I'm kind of thinking of right now is just like that newspaper script type of font. We'll see what I end up with. I always, again, my editor knows this, but when I am filming, I literally will start with one idea and then I'm like 10 ideas in tangents down, and the end result design is completely different than what I'm doing live. So bear with me here. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do, I'm actually going to do something a little bit. We're going to play with personalization with Printify, but for our mockup images, we're going to need an overlay for those. So we can't, like, if that makes sense, like Printify, like I can't make a mockup if I don't have our design overlay. So I'm going to start with making the design on Kittl. And then the bottom one is going to be our personalization that I'm going to copy to, like, basically I'm going to remove this to upload to Printify, but it's going to be the same design on Printify. Well, I'll show you what I mean so we can do this together. So what I'm going to do, we're going to do like matching. Maybe I'll just do a mama one. I'm going to do a mama one and we're going to keep it at that. And I'm going to do EST 2026. So again, what our target audience, our customer, our niche, pregnancy reveal, and then it's going to be mama, right? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to find a font. Font selection is honestly my longest process. In any design tutorial I do, I kid you not, it takes me 20 minutes. We're not doing that today, okay? We're not going to because we are live and I'm respecting everyone's time with me live today. So, I feel like blinds audience, broad light. Ooh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. We're going to go with this. We're going to do this, okay? Because we're making quick decisions today and we're just doing it. I go into these, I went into this live call today, like, I hope I find a font quick enough. So I like the mama. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a little bit of a transformation. So I think I'm going to do just like a slight arch for this. So then we have kind of that slight curvature on this design. Now, the one thing that I will note is I find that on a hat, the embroidery is going to be way smaller. So I want to make it a little bit larger, and I do want to add space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to space it out a little bit. We're going to do maybe like a 600. It looks like that didn't change at all. We're going to do 700. Let's see. Oh, I cannot type today or any day. I feel like that just made it. That made the space. Oh, wait. You know what? I'm editing the wrong thing. That's why. That is why that is not working. Again, this is what happens when I am live and just by myself. So I feel like anyone watching, you guys are probably like, what is Heather doing? So I'm going to space this out a little bit. I don't like that. I don't like that for us. I don't know. How do you guys feel about it spaced? I feel like after I spaced it, I was like, you know what? This is not for my design. I like the squished look. I do like the squished look. We're going to do the squished look. Okay, we're doing the squished look. That's what we're going to do today. And we're going to stick with that. Okay. So this is where the downloads come in to play and why I downloaded what I did. So I'm going to go back to the tab because this is where I started, and then my neurodivergent brain just like went off the deep end. So when you select your variants, so I'm just going to put a placeholder text here just for a second so we can preview. So when you preview, since this is an early access product, it is not going to have that generated mockup for you. That is the downside of early access. The upside is we can go into like a trending product quick if we know how to create for it, right? So this download file area, if you click this, that is essentially what you are going to open. And then when I go back to the project, so if I go back to the project, what you see here, this Photocard in this embroidery guide is what I downloaded from that package. And then all of these hats are what I downloaded as well. So that is exactly what you can download. And I have it all uploaded here. Again, I'm going to share this at the end. So you have this, but these are the embroidery colors. So you can't really, this kind of the caveat to embroidery is you can't really, see, like you won't get that early access mockup image. So when you select colors, it has to be any of these colors. So what's nice is I'm going to zoom out here. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to grab the color. So I'm going to do this color grab. And let's say, I would say probably gray. I don't know. Let's see. Let me go back to that color. I feel like, well, for the black, so monochrome trend is very big. So I would say for the black one, I would do the black, I would just keep it black for that. So what I'm going to do for that one is I'm going to keep that one black. The other ones, however, we will have to change. So, so what I did is I copied that artboard. So we're going to change the colors of the fonts to kind of match some of the hats that we're doing today. Some of them are not going to match. It's not going to be that monochrome, but it's going to be like our version of it because we're matching the colors of the embroidery threads. So these are thread colors that they have uploaded. I should have mentioned that earlier, but the thread colors are essentially what I'm going to match. So black on the pepper, I think is going to look gorgeous. Monochrome, like embroidery, what monochrome is basically the same color on the material, on the same colored material. So if it's a black t-shirt, it's a black embroidery. Basically, that's like a big trend right now. If it's a green t-shirt, green embroidery, that's monochrome. We're kind of like doing that invisible look in a way. That's kind of It's like a not in your face trend, but it's very, very hot right now on Etsy. So I'm going to match this below before I go any further into this design tutorial. So I'm going to share my tab again over to this. So for this, we're going to have our EST down here. And what I actually want the personalization on here. So I'm going to do personalization. We're going to add personalizable text. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do EST, and I'm going to do this all caps because I feel like caps is just the better way to go. And then 2026 we'll put here. So what I will do is I'm probably going to download our mama text to see how this all looks together. But character limit, we want to limit it to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 characters. So maybe, I don't know, if our customer wants to put anything crazy in there, we can just keep it at 8. We'll be strict today. Maybe 9 just in case. We'll do 9 just in case, just to be a little bit on the safe side. So let's see. So for EST 2026, this is not the font we want. We want a better font. So what's really cool with Printify, they have over 300 fonts you can select from. And they do have an embroidery ready section that I do like to go to because it's kind of their vetted out type of letters that they would recommend to us. So EST 2026, the only thing about this college font I don't like is that it has like that little dot in the middle. I don't like that dot. So, let's see. That's cute. I like Alada. I might do a different EST 2026. I feel like I just want like a very like small serif. So maybe I'll go for that, or Volcorn. But I don't like that the EST is like higher up and it's not the same height as 2026. So I am not going to do that one. Let's see. Pirata one. Ooh, that's kind of cool, but that is not the vibe we're going for today, right? So that one's also kind of okay. We're gonna look on the normal list then. That's okay. Adamina's okay, but I'm not exactly thrilled about that one either. So, like I said, font choice is literally my longest part of anything I do. Ooh, okay, DM Serif. I like what you did there, DM Serif. Thank you. I think we're just going to stick with that because if I keep going, this going to be an hour of me just trying to select a font, and no one wants that. I don't think, at least. DM. The only problem is I don't think DM serif is in the serif for yeah, we don't have it as an option. I can upload it though, so we might have to download and upload. We might have to download and upload into Kittl. Yeah, they have the Volcorn. I guess in undercase, EST 2026 isn't terrible, but like I'm not happy about it. So anyways, let me bring up DM serif display. I just want to make sure I have we have commercial use license. So when it comes to licensing for the display, I mean, with Printify already licensed it. There are free commercial licenses available. So if Printify already has it, it's not really a problem for us to download. But I'm going to bring up, so I'll show you all. So if you go on, like, if you just search up any type of display, or if you search up a font, You can go to Google Fonts, and if we see here, we have the fonts already in here. So we can actually get the font and we can download it. So when we download it, the zip file that comes up, I'm going to take that file, and I X'd out my screen. So we're going to reshare that. So for that font, I'm going to download it. So when I open up the zip file, which I'm not showing on the screen just because that's in my file folder, and I'm keeping the file folder off of the live, but basically I opened up that zip file. I'm expanding the zip file. And then what I can do is I click upload font here, and please forgive me. It actually might pull up my files. So I'm going to share this tab. So just in case, just for privacy reasons, I'm going to upload. So I'm going to select the DM serif display regular .ttf. We're going to open that. And then now I'm going to share my tab again. So it's going to show up like this. And style name is regular. We're going to upload to our library. And now we can use that font. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do DM. Maybe it's because I'm selected now in that we have. Let's see, where did the font go though? There, the font has left the chat. That's the problem. Let's just see if it comes up. Oh, here we go. There we go. Thank you. Thank you, DM Serif. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uppercase this all. And then I'm going to remove that dot. I feel like the dot looks nice though. I kind of like that dot. What do you guys think? Do you like the dot? I don't know. I feel like I have decision-making problems. Anyways, so we're gonna keep this. I like it. So I feel like this is so funny being live. So I like this personally. I think I'm going to stick with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste this again. So now we have 2 of this artboard. Well, we technically have 3. I'm actually going to delete this one because we changed where everything is. So now that we have this, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to delete that EST. So I'm going to download this one separately. So first I'm going to download this one. I'm going to remove background, optimize quality, and we're going to download Artboard 3. I'm also going to download this one without the EST. So I'll show you why I'm doing this in a moment here, but I'm going to download this one as well. Now we're going to switch tabs back to this. So I'm going to add that dot. Yay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the one that has the DM font. So we have the DM font here. The reason why I'm going to upload this is just to make sure everything is aligned correctly. So when we're on the black leopard, oh my gosh, this looks so nice. This looks so nice. Okay, let's keep going. So when I upload this, now we have this here, so I can align my personalization box. So I'm going to bring this forward, is what I did on that screen. And I'm going to make this aligned, or as aligned as I can get, that is. So we have that. The EST is still not aligned fully. Okay, so it's kind of aligned. It's not perfect, but we're there. We're there, and that's what matters. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over the, that is not what I wanted. So I'm going to bring over the second artboard with just mama, and I'm going to overlay that and match the size of the initial one. So you can stretch this, or you can do it manually by like going to the original artboard and seeing, okay, width is 6 and height 6.06 to 3.18. So I'll do 3.18. 6.06. So now we're exactly aligned, and then I'm going to overlay that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this bottom layer. So we're just going to delete that, and it looks like nothing changed, but basically now we have that personalization box and we have the mama on top. So now that we have this, the reason why we're saving this is because this is going to be our overlay that we're going to overlay on our mockup image. So this one is our mockup. Artboard 3 is going to be for the mockup. Artboard 5 is only for the design. So I hope that makes sense for anyone that I might have lost in this process, or I hope that this kind of like expands your ideas of how to do personalization with Printify, but also starting your design on a different software. So I'm going to save this. Now I do want to say and note, I'm not going to do the other colors in this call live with you all because I fear if I did all of the colors, we would be here for like 3 hours. And I wanted to keep this to only like 2 hours maximum. And I know we had issues in the beginning, so that's kind of my fault. But we're gonna just finish out just doing this design together, and we'll go from there. So for this, so now we have this all done. So I saved this, and I think I wasn't sharing my screen when I finished the. So when I finished all this, someone asked, can something be done in something similar be done in Canva? I don't have Kittl, so you can do similar. Kittl and Canva have some similar fonts. They don't have all of the same fonts. Some of Kittl's fonts are handmade by digital, like graphic designers. So some of the fonts you might not see, some of them you may have to get a license for and buy separately on your own, but you definitely can recreate a design like this in any software. It doesn't have to be Kittl. Kittl's just my choice because it's print on demand friendly. It has print on demand licenses, which in the past certain softwares have not, or they've been very confusing with their licenses. So, and then also you can do certain, I would say, graphic effects that you can't do in other softwares. So one of those effects that I did today in this live call that if you're in a different software, again, you can probably do. But what I have here is a arch effect. So what it does is it's not actually just a curve. It also stretches the letters a little bit. So if you see there's like a curvature that the font is basically on, and it stretches a little bit. And with other softwares, sometimes it's just like a circle. It's not stretched, if that makes sense, which is totally fine. That's like a different way you could do a design, right? So for this now, I am going to create a mockup next. So we're going to do our mockup images, and then we're going to kind of complete the listing out here. So I'm just going to do like a square artboard for our mockup image in my separate tab here. So again, going back, I'm going to share this design. Or this mockup image, I'm just going to purchase live here, and then I'm going to bring over so that we have it and we have something to work off of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out on that. Let's see here. So I'm going to share my screen here. So I'm not actually checking out live. I feel like I always make mistakes at some point during these live calls. Forgive me. So I'm just waiting for the download to go through, and then I'm going to upload that here. Okay, I think we are good. We're good to go. Let's see if that uploads. Woo, we got it. Okay, so we are good to go on that design. So some of you may be thinking right now, like, how are we going to make this look embroidered? And to that, I say we have some options. One is we can use AI in to some extent. Two, we can do a overlay, which I've done in the past. It's not a easy process, but it can be done. So I feel like I will need a chart of some sort, which I did not prepare. Let me see if they have the, I think I saw a like size. Um, oh geez, they do have a hat mockup bundle. By the way, if anyone's looking for the hat mockup bundle, I just found this. Maybe if I looked ahead of time, if anyone's looking for some bundles too from this seller. And I think I saw someone comment earlier about what is a mockup seller. So a mockup seller, they just some of them are photographers, some are AI created, I will say, but photography is a big one for like if you it, I've seen a lot of people who have owned photography businesses who have just switched completely to owning their own mockup businesses, which mockups are digital photos where we can overlay our designs on. And that is essentially kind of what we're doing here. Yeah, it doesn't look like we have information charts, which we can create our own. So what I'm going to do here as well is I'm going to just to protect. So what I'm going to do too is you're going to see my watermark just to protect this mockup seller and make sure no one's just screenshotting because that has happened in the past and we have had issues. So this might be annoying, but we're going to have a little watermark here too during our call today. Again, this is just to protect the mockup seller because when I show it live like this, some people have just screenshotted, which is not allowed. Please do support these mockup businesses and purchased rather than screenshotting. That's a big no-no for anyone. So with mockup images, we can just overlay. So that same design I uploaded earlier, I am just going to pull over. And essentially, when you're creating a mockup, so what I found is some people have done this where they have just overlaid like you see here, and it's kind of like it doesn't look embroidered at all, right? So what you can do, and this is something I've done in the past, which I feel like my overlay is going to get in the way here, but we're going to do it. So I'm going to select this. I'm going to select this. And there's this remix feature with AI on Kittl. And this is what I've been playing with. It sometimes does it, sometimes doesn't do this correctly. But what I'm going to put is overlay the hat. Oh, the hat with the design selected, but make it as embroidered on the hat. I hope this does this correctly, by the way. I feel like I've had times when it doesn't do it correctly, okay? So bear with us. We're gonna cross our fingers here. We're gonna cross our fingers and hope for the best. So it does take a second to generate these. I'm gonna take a water break. I should do that and then. So I'll check out our chat here while we're waiting. So Christina asked if you are doing personalization, does the box need to be done in Printify? So if you want it automated and to send a customer the personalization hub that Printify has right now, you have to do it in Printify. But if you want to do it manually, so a manual design, let's say, so you get the design from, let's say, your customer, or your order comes in, and they're like, oh, maybe it's later this year, and they're like, oh, I need 2027. So you would just do this. You would change it. You're going to download this as such. So I'm going to download remove background, optimize quality. We're going to download, and when your order comes through, typically what you have to do, so I'm going to save this product here in Printify. So I'm not going to finish this out. I hope it lets me do this. Yes, it did. So when you have an order come through, let's say in your order tab here, what you'll do is you'll copy this. So if you're doing like a manual personalization, you're going to copy it, you're going to click into it, you're going to edit design. And then what I like to do is, again, I like to match the size to make sure the size is right. Sometimes I stretch it, but I feel like it's still not exact. So let's be exact today. So that would be how you would do that. And then we're going to delete the, box. Let's delete the bottom one. So now we have the 2027. You're going to save product. And then let's say, we'll do, EST 2027. So now we have this all done, right? So now when you go to make that order, or you go to edit the order that comes through from Etsy, basically you're going to pull that through. That's how you do manual personalization if you don't want to do the Printify Personalization Hub. So let's see how Printify. Okay. Okay, one of these is not correct. Just want to address that it's not black. But my goodness, we still want to sample, okay? Because we don't know. So what it did here, this is called a puff. It's almost like a puff embroidery. This is where samples come into play, because when you're embroidering on Printify, Printful, what have you, there's different embroidery methods and how the threads are created. So this is where you should order a sample of something like this if you're going to create a bunch of listings, because so I'm going to really zoom in. So this like thick line here, this is essentially called the puff print effect. This is not guaranteed because, again, you have to get a sample. Printify and Printful do the puff effect, the puff print effect, or embroidery effect, I should say, but it's not guaranteed, and it depends on how thick your designs are. So that's why I'm going to recommend, if you do have something like this. Also, this looks really nice with white thread. If it were me, I would probably design one listing to be with white embroidery and one with the black, because it looks really nice. So anyways, what I'm going to do here as well. So this, what's kind of really cool. So this mockup is great. And it's really hard to see here, of course, like the way we have it now, but I'm going to download this as a JPEG or JPG. I feel like, again, put in the chat if you're done with me mispronouncing things. But what we can do is we can actually remix this again. So this is what's crazy about AI right now. And my favorite is Nano Banana. It does cost credits with Kittl. I will note that. But it is really, really beautiful. I've been using Nano Banana Pro a lot recently just to like learn my own. And you don't need to have like really long prompts to make something really nice. So what I can do is like make a flat lay image of the hat. Oh, I keep putting hate. The hat on a desk with bright lighting and bohemian accents, maybe. I feel like that's going to confuse the AI. On a I'll take that out. Because I feel like it might like add stuff to the hat. But I don't want it to just be on a desk. Like I don't on a cozy studio desk. Let's just do, we're going to do cozy. Let's just see, we're going to see what it creates here for us today. So, yeah, it looks like it did that one pretty well too. So again, we're kind of just waiting for AI. So while that's happening, I'm going to see, I see Tony said I am trying to find mockups for Kindle cases and I'm not seeing any yet. Yeah. The Kindle cases, since it's so new, it's probably going to take a second to hit Etsy again. Mockup photographers, if you can make that happen, that would be magical. But it's probably really hard to do that. So Gianni asked, do you list with the mockup before you get the sample? So I personally do when it looks this realistic. I will say again, I would still order a sample in the time you're waiting. You can wait to post. It just depends on your comfort level of waiting or not waiting. For me, I would probably list this personally before the sample, but that's just me because I feel confident that like if there was any issue, I would refund them. But I know some people that might not be the case, but just in selling print on demand for so long, I've always just made the mock-up, put it out, then I order a sample. If it's a product like this that I'm nervous about, that it could come out a little bit different. And if I am very nervous, of course, I would order it first. But the way this came out is pretty on par. Like I have ordered a lot of samples in my time for embroidery with Printify and Printful, and this is pretty much on par with their puff print. That's why I know about their puff print, is because I have ordered samples. If you are new to Printify, Printful, print on demand companies, I would highly recommend ordering a sample. This is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. Nano Banana, you have done it again. You have done it again. I mean, the succulent, I feel like succulents are like the telltale sign of AI. But that's gorgeous. I mean, there's probably some things that I feel like, why is there a mug with a succulent? I love you, AI, but I don't love you at the same time at times. So I would do something like this. I would say the EST is really kind of hard to read now that I'm looking at it, but I still think it's nice because I find that a lot of customers really like that minimal feel right now. So I would probably do those two. And we're going to keep it at that for this design. So I'm going to switch back to Printify now. So I'm going to go to Printify. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload those mockup images. So I'm going to upload this one and then I'll upload this one. So we're going to have these and I'm not going to replace, I'm just going to add these in. So when it comes to like the designs and everything, what's kind of tough with an early access product like this is like the bottom side of the design is not going to show fully for the other types of hats, right? So you would, in my recommendation for this is to do like multiple of what we did today. Again, I'm not going to, this would be like 3 to 4 hours of a live stream. So I am only going to do these two for now, but just imagine that I did this 4 more times. I did the camo. I did the dotted, like underneath dot and sage, let's say. So I'm going to confirm this and we're going to keep these here. So you, I wouldn't recommend keeping these because I feel like they just look very like obvious. And also you can't see the bottom of these. So that's kind of the bummer of the early access again. But we do like this website. So what I would do is I would probably, looking at this, I would be kind of careful on some of these because as you can see, this one doesn't have a bottom with the gray, but this one has the camo. This has the jade daisy. This has polka dots. So I would, again, repeat the process that we did today together. And I would do that for every color you're going to offer because this is such a specialized type of design. And then you can also create like a product photo of like here, like this I would do, but we need the backside. So we need the underneath of these hats because that's what customers are really going to want. And I would have a chart that shows the colors you're offering. So if I'm only offering this, I delete the other ones and show the bottom of it and also label the colors. So just to know, and I'm not even sharing, sorry, I'm not sharing on screen, but this is the chart. So I would delete these and keep the colors that we're offering, right? And then I would have the bottom of them too available and seen. And then I would label each one. So that's essentially what I would do. So now I am going to go back and I'm going to go to my listing that I just did. And also you can create a card. So you can create like a photo card that has size and like the other specifications that we just looked at. So if I'm looking, so I'm going to save this and I'll show you what I mean by that, like to have your own chart in a way. So, if we go back to that hat, so this is what I mean by specifications. So all this here, we can kind of use as our guide. So one thing that's nice, and this is what I've done in the past too, so we have the bottom of the cap. So like if I really wanted to do this, I'm going to do let's see, I'm just going to copy and paste the smartboard. And then I am going to, you know what? I just copied that and then I pasted it again. There we go. There we go today. We're just doing things. So I'm actually, we'll just save these. Okay. I'm going to save these. So like if I were doing some type of chart that just showed all of these. So what I'm doing, and I know you all probably can't see me saving these, but I'm right clicking and I'm saving these as I'm going here just to get the bottom of the hats so we can make this into a photo card. So I'm saving these. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Kittl and I'm going to upload those. So we're going to upload this unsupported file type. Never mind. Never mind on uploading that. So it said I'm going to copy. Let's see if it pastes in. Yes, we got something. Okay, so I just copied. I literally selected that photo and I pasted it in. And that's essentially all I did. It's me and my ability to do so. So I'm just gonna have these, and then so if I'm making like a chart to show all of the color options, right? So we have the gray, maybe we have the The sage, I'm going to bring up, I think it was lavender we have, which looks really beautiful. So I'm going to paste that, and then I'm going to, let's see, go to the lavender. Oh my gosh, it is so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. Okay, so now we're pasted in. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring these all down here. So this is going to create our chart to kind of show the different colors just to our customers if they're like, okay, how does this look? Since we already have the black and leopard, I mean, I feel like I should still have it in the chart though. I should still have it in the chart. We'll do this. So I'm going to have these. So I know this looks crazy right now. Bear with me. I feel like the problem I'm having is like, I can't really, let's see. We'll do the best colors first, or like bigger maybe. Because I feel like those are my favorites. So we're going to do that. And then I'm going to do this, and we'll make these a little bit smaller. I'm actually going to line these up in size to each other. And then we'll go from there. So I'm going to do this, and we're going to center it. So now what are we going to do? I'm going to remove background on all these. And then we have a photo card that we're going to label here. So I'll remove background. And now I'm going to space these a little bit. So I'm going to make these bigger again, just because I feel like this is the ones that might sell a little bit more. Maybe not. I could be wrong about that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to label these now. So I'll do, so our colors, let me go back to our color options because I don't want to label them incorrectly. So we're going to go back. Sorry, I'm sharing my tab. I have to manually change my tab, so I do apologize if parts of this tutorial today I haven't been showing in full. So we have black leopard, chocolate fawn that I didn't. We're going to unselect that because I did not pull that over for our size chart today. Vanilla longhorn, sage, olive camo, lavender stripes. I realized my lavender stripes. We're going to edit these because I did like, I think the dusty pink, I am confused. I am confused now because we have, anyways, it's not important. It's not important. We're gonna continue. I do apologize. I'm just speaking aloud in my confusion about the stripes. Stripes are nice, but I pulled over the floral one. You know, like I pulled over, what one is this? Like, this is the color I want, and I don't know where it is. Now I'm confused. Anyways, we will delete this one because I'll have to get back to everyone on that. I'm confused about that one. So anyways, I digress. Let's keep it rolling. So I'm going to go to, let's see, we will go back to the hat mesh. So I'm going to have to get the longhorn. I'm actually going to copy that over because I think that would be a better seller in my opinion. So I'm going to do the longhorn one. We're going to remove background. I'm going to delete this because we don't have it as an option. And I'm actually just going to do 4 because I don't know what's going on with the purple. I'm very confused and I don't want to confuse anyone else by using the purple right now or like the lilac, but it's still pretty. I just am confused. So we will continue our regular programming here. Thanks everyone for just like following along. We're going today. So for the color selections, so I'm going back to color selections again. I'm going to unselect this. We have, or deselect, that's a better use of the verbiage. So olive, camo, sage, polka dot, vanilla longhorn, and black leopard. Again, I say that like I'm going to remember that when I go to label these. So now we're going to go to label. Thank you all for just hanging out with me today. I feel like we're doing, you all are great. You all, I honestly, I tell my friends and family this all the time, but I'm just like, literally, like my YouTube subscribers are the sweetest and most patient. Like I cannot tell them enough about how like you all deal with my Heather-isms, I will say. So I'm going to do the vanilla longhorn. So we're doing that. And then we are going to do olive camo. And then black leopard. So as you can see, I'm kind of trying to make sure the blue lines are aligned. I see Denise says, it's good to know that even a master gets confused working this. LOL. Thank you for your transparency. I feel like that's a thing though. Like, I don't know. Like I look back on my teachers, like I've had amazing like people who have taught me in the medical field. And I think like, you know, when you're training for a new job, like, and then you see your like teacher or trainer doing things wrong and it's like, oh, I can make mistakes. It's fine. Like that's what I like to show on YouTube. I don't like to paint a picture that I do everything perfectly. Like, yes, I think there is a need for professionalism and like showing that, like, yes, you should handle things with professionalism, but there are times that um, everyone makes mistakes. Like, you don't have to act like something we're not, right? Like, we're all human. We're all living this experience together, making mistakes together. I'm trying to find like a cute font for this. And again, fonts take me years. So I'm not going to, we're just going to select. We're going to select, guys, and then we'll go from there. I feel like I should have just kept with the one I had. I kind of like this though. We're going to do this. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger. And then I'm going to align these a little bit better. We're going to do this. Oh, that was not what I wanted. That was not. I think it's because I have that. I have this selected. I'm going to delete that. So I'm going to align these center just to kind of fix this up a little bit. We're going to align these center. So just to like kind of get that alignment going a little bit better. So all these hats are also different sizes, which is making my OCD go crazy, but it's fine. It's fine. Anywho's, we're gonna do this. Okay. So I'm gonna select all. We're gonna move this down a little bit. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put color options. So people know they have the option of colors. I don't know why I just over explained that. Forgive me. So I really like this font too. I think that's kind of cool. So we're going to do this, and then I'm going to do like a box to just like make it kind of pretty, kind of nice. So this is what I'm going to do. Again, bear with me. I know this is kind of weird what I'm doing. I do want the box to actually like go under. There we go. There we go. I was going to say, I feel like it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So I'm going to take the layers. We're going to put that under color options. Then I'm going to change this to a white. And then we pretty much have our this card done. So I'm going to download this. So if there is cases where you're like, Heather, it's too much to like do every single hat, I will say the more hats that you do with that like embroidery look to it, it's going to go a long way for conversion rates. And just like if someone like customers want that visual, right? They don't want to just like see or imagine or try to imagine it. They want to see how it actually looks. So I'm going to do that. And again, I would recommend doing the other hats too. So for title, I'm going to do just exactly what it is. Oh, Masta. I feel like I was doing EST in my head at the same time. So I'm going to do Mama EST 2026 pregnancy reveal hat. And then I'm going to do a cute little horizontal bar. Yeah, I think I'm going to do, let's do custom. We'll do custom in the beginning. And I'm pretty happy with that. Now for tags. So I will say, one thing that I'm going to do for the description is, since we have mockups with AI, I'm going to put AI disclaimer just saying, oh, you know what? I'm not sure. Sorry, everyone. Fix leopard hunt. Yes. We'll fix that. Well, thank you. Shout out to you all. Thank you. I was thinking that as I was writing it, but my brain is like in 10 different places right now, to be quite honest with you all. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. So we learned today leopard is not leopard. Lee. I don't even know how I spelled that. A leopard. Yes. Yes, the leopard. So like let's have that. I knew I was going to do something wrong live, and I've done a lot of wrong things already, but thank you all. So, man, I just erased what I just did. It's fine. Custom Mama EST 2026 pregnancy reveal hat. So given a lot of people, a lot of expecting mothers, they might not be even buying this for pregnancy reveal, but that's just a really strong niche. I'm going to not do women's. I'm going to do expecting mother. And then we'll just keep washed mesh back. And then I'll do an AI disclaimer. So if you are selling internationally, you're going to want to check mark the general product safety regulation for my EU sellers watching. And then I'll put AI was utilized in the creation of this Etsy listing, so people know. So for tags, I'm going to do Mama EST 2026. I'm going to do expecting mother to be, if I can fit it. Nope, can't fit it. We'll just do that. Mother's Day gift. I know Mother's Day gift, you might be like, okay, but we're targeting pregnancy reveal. Mother's Day gift is still good because people might be looking for that, as they might type in pregnancy reveal Mother's Day gift or pregnant mom to be Mother's Day gift. So we still want to hit that Mother's Day. That's a big one. Again, second Christmas, Mother's Day. That's what we like to say in the Etsy world. And just, I feel like e-commerce is known for that. So I'm going to put pregnancy reveal. I don't think gift's going to fit. Nope. Gift does not fit. I'm going to put embroidered hat. And that's actually, I realize now, custom Mama EST. I'm actually going to take this and we're going to add embroidered, and I'm going to put pregnancy reveal washed cap. I guess I'll add, because this is still describing the product, we'll keep mesh back. So I'm going to put embroidered hat, cap. So we'll do mesh back, cap. So I will also do, I feel like this is the part of the day. This is usually when I have lunch. So my brain, I have like one brain cell working for me right now. So thank you all for dealing with me at the end of this. So I will do mom to be. That's what I was, mom to be. And then I'm also going to put mom to be in like hyphen, because sometimes people search that. I found on Etsy, sometimes it's like reversed in a way, like, or like the way people type things might be slightly different. So mom to be without, with hyphens. I don't know. Sometimes it search and keywords show like that. So we're going to put the leopard. Okay. I spelled that right this time, right? Okay. We're going to put leopard, print, and then I feel like since we have polka dots, I'm going to start with polka dots. Maybe I'll do baby shower. So I like hitting baby shower as well. I think that's a really good occasion to give a gift for, right? I know that's kind of a weird gift to give to a mom, but sometimes, you know, that could be in the realm of that. So we got 4 more tags. I see Nicole asked, so if we are only selling in the US market, we don't need to check the GPSR. Yes. So if you're only selling in the US market, GPSR is not something you have to worry about. So I'm also going to pull, we're going to pull, let's see, mama hat pregnancy reveal. I'm going to pull up do a little bit of research on the other side here, just to see what other SEO is kind of doing well right now. For some of the other, I'm not showing just because I don't want to show the exact shop, just to protect IP again. Matching gift, baseball hat, embroidered cap, baby announcement. Do we have announcement in here? No. So I'm going to put, we already have baby ones, but maybe I'll put announcement. Do I have new in here? I don't think. I'll put new. So Etsy's keyword and search is what I like to say mix and match search. So you might notice I'm like putting words and phrases that don't make sense. That's because what Etsy does, and you can search this on Etsy and try this out for yourself, but if you do like Mother's Day gift for pregnant mom or expecting mom, let's say, the SEO that's going to show up might not have that exact phrase anywhere. And then if you look in the keywords are all individual. So that's one of the reasons why you might see me doing that. That's kind of the method to the madness. So I'm going to put baseball hat matching gift if it fits. Nope. I kind of want to do, instead I'm going to do matching couples. I don't think gift's going to fit. Nope. We'll do matching couples. If you were doing like a matching dad and mom hat, new parents, to be, we'll just do, so I also want to make sure that we're still hitting like we're hitting matching. We're hitting baseball hat's a good one though. So I'm gonna do baseball hat. Um, I'll put washed hat, and we'll keep it at that. So yes, there probably is more SEO I could have probably done. I feel like for the sake of just like how long we are live now, I'm kind of going a little bit faster. But so this is what's really cool and new about the feature on Printify is they have buyer personalization hub. So this is what you're going to copy and you can send to your customers to have them do it. Given some customers might not even know how to do this, so you might just have to do it manually or just put it through anyways. Um, but this is essentially when your order comes through, you're going to get a link from Printify in the order tab. And then you can, so the link when you open Hub, so I'm going to click that. We're going to share the tab. So this is the Hub. And in the Hub, this is essentially like what you can personalize. So again, the design is kind of there, but let's say we want to do like 2027, or maybe we had like someone had a baby last year, they want 2025. Then they can continue. They can maybe change. It looks like you can change the option. That's crazy. I'm very surprised about that. But anyways, so you can continue and then you can save that design. And this is essentially what the customer sees, which is really, really cool. Again, really big new feature. That's really fun. So instructions, we'll want to put, please enter the year you'd like shown on or below the mama text on the hat. Oop. I don't know why I keep putting hate today. What am I doing? So this is essentially, again, personalization hub as far as what they can access. So what I do when I'm going to shipping, I do economy, automatically assign and update profile if needed. Again, I'm not doing free shipping for this. For pricing, this is a very unique product type. Again, your pricing is going to be different if you are selling with Printify Premium versus not Printify Premium. One thing I will note is typically auto, like my website is currently auto set up for profit of 40%, but for pricing, I personally like to like have the pretty numbers, like I don't know, like pretty numbers as far as like a $39.99 or like I don't know. And I know like the cent. Okay, and just let me know how you all feel about like how this looks, but I know the 1 cent is going away, so I don't know how that will look. I guess it'll be like 339.9 if we would sell this for 40. I would say for this type of cap to remain competitive, maybe $34.99, $29.99 to $34.99 is what I'd price this because you are doing embroidery. I like to have a profit margin of over 20%. With that, typically I run sales. So with profit margin being 33% after a sale, that's probably going to take off 15%-ish to 25%. Usually I run my sales right now at 25%. So if we're thinking about that, that's going to be about, you'll end up definitely with over $5 of profit. But still, that's something to consider is how high your sales are when you're pricing. For me, I'm going to do 33%. That'll get us a profit of about $11.72 when sold at full price. If you run higher sales, you might want to do $39.99. For me, I know that sounds very expensive for a cap, but one thing we have to consider is this is a unique product type on Etsy. It's high quality. It is embroidered. So all of those things add to the perceived value of a product for a customer. So I know that sounds high to price as high as $39.99, but I would retail value this product as high as $39.99 because it's very premium and it's unique. You don't have to be the lowest price in the pool of competitors. So just know that. So now I'm just going to publish this straight to my store because we have everything done. We have the mockups done. I'm happy with everything that we have. Typically, what I'd recommend to those of you who don't have your mockups done, hide in store, go to your drafts, then publish. But for this purpose, everything looks good. I select all here. It auto selects like half of it anyways, but I select all. I like to do only show in stock variants personally. So with this, I am going to publish and then we're going to see our final listing done on Etsy in just a few moments. And I'm going to look at our questions. And I know I said earlier over 35 being free shipping. I'm not offering free shipping because it's $34.99. Now, I will say I didn't intentionally do that to be like evil and not offer free shipping. Now that I think of it, I probably should just do like, if you're doing free shipping, then $39.99. Like that kind of includes. So $39.99 if you're gonna do free shipping. I guess I would I'm gonna fix my price to $39.99 actually, because I don't want to be evil in that way of like, haha, like it's 1 cent under 35 for free shipping. I don't know if that makes sense. I feel like evil now that I did that. We'll fix the price on Etsy. So we are going to go to that listing. So I'm going to see in store. I'm going to share this tab. So as you can see, we have our final look. For some reason, these images look a little bit like this looks really good quality, but these do not. So this is why it's always good to look and review your listings. So I'm actually going to edit this and I am going to, first of all, change the price because again, I feel like I did something accidentally evil in doing like free shipping. I'm going to do $39.99 because again, that's going to auto give my customers free shipping. Also, that's a huge plus to have free shipping on Etsy. I wonder if it's a little bit pixelated because I just uploaded it too. So let's see if maybe it fixed. Nope, that did not fix what I did. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to that initial download. So as we can see, when I'm looking at this now, it does look a little bit blurry here. So I'm going to try to upscale. Oh, wait, no, it says it's too large. Then why is it downloading so bad? Maybe I'll export it. It's because I'm doing the quick export too. It's probably why. I'm going to go back to this here. So we're going to edit it. And let's see if maybe our design is a little bit nicer. So we're going to pull this over. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay, that is so much better than the other one. So I'm going to delete this. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a 2x on the other one too. And then I'm going to bring that over, drag and drop it in. And I actually do like that the color options are the second one. So I'm going to keep this as is. And now I am also going to adjust the thumbnail. So this is something I feel like Etsy recently changed. And if you see like the portrait squishes, I don't know why. I don't know if that's actually how it looks like, to be quite honest. But it's strange that it kind of squishes. In my opinion, in my humble opinion, it seems kind of strange. But anyways, I digress. I'm gonna just pull it a little bit to the side. I think people get the drift that the bottom is here. I like it like this. I know in portrait, for some reason, that looks really weird. I don't know why it does that. But just to make it a little bit closer so people can see, honestly, I would maybe consider doing this as the main mockup photo because you can see the design better. The only problem with this being the main mockup photo is it doesn't have the backside, which I think is a huge selling point of this product. In which case, you know, if we look at the mockup images generated, maybe we should use this one instead if we wanted that to be the main mockup photo. So I'm actually going to pull this over instead, because now that I'm thinking out loud with all of you, I we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. Yeah, I like that better. I'm gonna keep the color options as the second one here, and then yeah, that looks. But there's two sets of glasses. There's two sets of glasses here. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. Um, oh, jeez. Yeah, I feel like the closer I get, though, the more pixelated it is. So I'm going to go back. Oop, I'm not sharing my screen again. I'm sorry. We're going to export this. We'll go back. So I'm going to share my tab here. We'll complete this all. And I'm going to bring this over. So when I was zooming in, it kind of got very pixelated. So I re-downloaded it at a higher resolution. And I'm pretty sure I can crop it in still. So I'm going to crop this because we have two sets of glasses in this picture, which is kind of funny. We're going to crop the second set of glasses out, and then I'm going to adjust the thumbnail here. I don't know. For some reason it pixelates. Like, it looks very pixelated when I do that. Yeah, I like that though. I really like that. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So this is pretty much what we have for our final listing. Now, if I look on the shop, we can see it didn't upload the new mockup. There we go. Yes. That looks so gorgeous. So I like to look at the full shop view because it gives me that sight of like what our customers see, and then like on scroll it looks gorgeous. So I recommend everyone to like look farther away. This is something I learned in like just art classes, is like when you're creating a piece of art or you're drawing, you're painting, it's always good to look away or like take a step back and look at something to make sure that you're looking at in a different perspective, right? So this is essentially it for our design. I realize now I didn't do a description, so we're gonna do a description here, and then that's me fixing my one thing I forgot. And again, I feel like when I do these tutorials, especially live, I feel like I'm trying to like read the chat too, and I get a little distracted, to be quite honest. So what I like to do is my friend ChatGPT, we're gonna make a description with ChatGPT. So I'm gonna put create a 140 character SEO friendly Etsy listing description for this titled listing. And then I feel like it's 140 words. I feel like I have that a little bit. Description character amount, because usually I want to say it's, no, it is characters. I'm looking on my other tab here. It is characters. So I like to keep it at 140. I had a moment. I always question myself. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I definitely do. I like this second response. And I know this is very like SEO keyword heavy, but like that's what we want for our meta descriptions. So I'm in the editing tool again here. I'm going to do that. Um, I just want to double check our personalization. This is kind of confusing. Oh, that's so cool. I didn't realize this is personalization in here as well. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I'm getting distracted for the 20th time during this call. So now we have our final. We have the final listing. We are done. So I'm going to go to our chat and try to answer any questions you have. I'm probably going to stay over until 2 p.m. Eastern time here. Nicole said, I just noticed the knitted coaster. Yes, yes. I was going to say there are ways that you can delete that, right? Like I could put, if we remix this, I'll just say, remove second pair of glasses and knitted coaster, keep, oh, you know what? I'm not sure in my tab. Everything else. So if I were to generate that, oh my gosh, I should not have done 4. That's a lot of credits. Anyways, so you can change the amount of images and just do 1, by the way, if you're using the Kittl remix function, but highly recommend. I love this because I've been actually not using, I used to use Midjourney a lot, but I actually have been going to Kittl now instead because I liked Midjourney since it did the 4 variations and now Kittl just has it. So it's pretty cool. Agnes asks, are you using Printify Premium for this? So for this, I'm not, for this specific one. Tony said, okay, back, LOL. Work meeting. They don't know I have stuff to do. That's funny. I love that. And thanks for everyone who's stuck with us. And I know maybe you have me in the background as your work meetings go on. I totally understand that. I honestly do that. I don't know if I'm sure maybe some people relate to this, but I like have background noise of like a YouTube video while I'm working at times just to like keep me inspired. It's always fun. Patty asks, is Nano Banana a choice in Kittl? Yes, yes, it is. So you can use Nano Banana in Kittl. The 4K, again, it is extra credits. That's the downside is Kittl does go by a credit system. As far as I know, I think for the free plan, when you sign up, you get a certain amount of credits. And then I was also going to say with the credits, so you get to use the AI for free. The only thing is if you're using Nano Banana Pro 4K, it like goes in a snap. So that's kind of the downside, but I will say that like subscribing to Kittl is better than subscribing to like a bunch of other AI softwares. Like you kind of just get it all in one instead of going to like 10 different places. So this pretty much fixed it. I actually like it without any glasses personally. I don't know. The glasses kind of like I'm scared that the size of the glasses might come into play where it's like, is that correct sizing in comparison to the hat? So maybe I'll add, so I'm just going to re-add that one in and then we're going to get back to where we were. So I like to do, if anyone has heard of the rule of 3, I believe. I think it's rule of 3. Now I'm like going back in my art history lessons. I'm like, rule of thirds. I think it's rule of thirds. Yes, yes, yes. Rule of thirds. Okay, so let me explain this concept if you have not heard of it before. So I like to use rule of thirds, and these Google pictures are like the best way to describe this. So rule of thirds is basically like bisecting lines and essentially like The point of rule of thirds is to keep the eye kind of moving. Now, you don't always want to use this. I will say still having your image centered is important, but for a item that you have two things in display, sometimes it makes sense. Like we're hitting that rule of third in this where we have mama and then our eye gravitates to the leopard print of the hat, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing. That's why I'm not fully centering. If anyone is also wondering about that, I just wanted to over explain that concept because I think that would be helpful for anyone going into this. But overall, that's pretty much it for this. I'll stay back and answer as many questions as I can. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to look at the other question. So when will this video be available to rewatch? So it should be on YouTube and fine. Sometimes when we do share, like if we share a shop name by accident or anything like that, we do have to remove it from YouTube. So in that case, that does happen. Typically, we re-edit and re-upload. So just know that could be the case sometimes in these calls, just to protect, other people's IP and whatnot. Watch now. It's kind of nice. YouTube like auto upload, so you can go back in this, you can go forward. Usually we timestamp things too. So when I go back later, I'm going to timestamp as well. Oh, and oh my goodness, I am going to share the project here. So I'm going to put embroidered hat project. So for everyone who's stuck in with me here, I am just going to share my templates. Now I will say I'm deleting the mockup images because again, they're kind of in use of the person that I purchased from. So you do need to purchase mockups if you are looking to do exactly what I did today. Even the AI generated mockup images, I use that as a guide. And so what I'm sharing is not going to include all of that, but it is going to include the designs. So also to note, these design templates are only templates. You will need to edit this to make it your own. You cannot use this exact template in your shop. You can use it as a guidance to recreate another design though. I hope that makes sense. Let me change my sharing permissions here. I feel like there's ways to share and I'm struggling to find where the share is on this. I've done this in the past where I've shared. Oh, here we go. I have figured it out. Okay. Oh, it says I can't do a custom uploaded font. So I'm going to change the font as my template then, and then I can share it. So at least everyone in here can get or use this template, and then you already have a Photocard if you're looking to create this. I have to switch the font and then I can upload. So I'll do that and then we are pretty much good to go. So I'm going to change that to a Latta font, which I used today in this video. So hopefully that will help. We're going to publish the project. I'll put embroidered hat tutorial template. And then I will share that here. And then And then I'm going to link, sorry, I have to do for a published template. Um, on Kittl, I have to like fill out a bunch of things to share it publicly. And we are almost there, I promise. Oh, thank you, Gail. I just read your comment about your compliments. Thank you. I really am happy that uh, you all are getting a lot of value out of this. I think that it's it's really difficult to like do this all on your own. And I think print on demand and being an Etsy seller is very lonely in a way. And I think that is e-commerce entrepreneurship because you're not seeing people in person. You're not learning from other people's mistakes in a way. Like that's basically how we learn and gain experience, right? Is learning from our mistakes and others' mistakes in a way. I feel like that's like evil of me to say, but like that is the truth, right? Um, so it is, I find it helpful, like in everything that I've ever learned is basically like having that as a guide. I'm going to paste this link in the chat here. So I just pasted that in the chat for all of the embroidery downloads to make it easy on everyone and go along with this tutorial in the future. I see that um, Wheels and Resin said, I'm a handmade artist with unique resin pieces. Would anything you provide help me? So I do teach about Etsy and how to, um, I feel like I teach about SEO, keywords, other things like that on this channel, but I'm primarily focused in print on demand in Etsy. So product creation, product development, design creation. That's kind of my specialty. So if you are looking to go into print on demand, I have a free print on demand crash course down below that you could always check out. If you're interested, I've had a lot of handmade sellers come to the print on demand space in a way. Um, or, I mean, a lot of like some of my top print on demand sellers have been handmade or digital. They came from digital or handmade and they just like went and took off in their businesses, which was really cool to see. Not to say that's like the average result for everyone, but it does happen. Um, Thank you all for joining me live. Last announcements I will make is thank you for anyone who donated today. Again, donations are optional, but I very much appreciate everyone who has supported the cause we have on the fundraiser. I also want to note that we do have that 21-day listing challenge coming up. So again, links are going to be in the description. We're going to pin a comment and you can join. We do have special offers and exclusive deals we only offer as packaged, like bundled in, that you can't get separately. So if you want to add those things on, feel free to do so at the checkout page. Outside of that, we have our private community with Print on Demand Academy, where I have bonus calls talking about trends, strategy, things like that, and a full A to Z course for print on demand. If anyone is curious and you just want the structure, you want more support, that's what that's there for. But I am live on YouTube. I have tons of free content. So please do take that if you need that extra support. That's kind of my other offering I have. Um, Outside of that, I am going to be going live next month. I have not officially secured the date because I do have kind of like some medical things going on in the personal life. So I haven't like solidified the days, but I do plan to go live next month. I will schedule it on YouTube when I plan to go live next. I'll send an email to anyone who is in my email list. Again, you can sign up to my email list through some of the freebies I have down below. Outside of that, I very much appreciate everyone who joined me live. I am wishing everyone so many sales this year. I hope that anyone who went into the niche and product type today sees some sales. That'd be really cool if you come back here and let us know. And outside of that, I am wishing everyone safe travels with the winter. I heard winter storm is still coming. It's coming again. So safe travels, take care, stay warm, and I'm wishing everyone the best in your businesses going forward.